am from Kelowna, British Columbia, and it's been just absolutely wonderful being here. My mindfulness instructor in Kelowna told me about the group about a month ago. So I checked in then, and I have been here every day, or if not on YouTube.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Just to give you a brief history, I'm originally from North Africa of French Jewish descent, and my father was in the French resistance and taken by the Nazis and then escaped. And so I understand, and my love and heart goes out to all those that are discriminated against, because I grew up with it in Canada when we moved to Canada. And, you know, we were called dirty Jews, and my parents also always said to me, just be proud of who you are. So I think we should all be proud of who we are. But more recently, I suffered some tragic losses. We were a very close family, and my parents and my three brothers all passed away in within a frame of 7 years. And then I was executor for one of my brother's estates, and it got nasty. It went into litigation, and so I suffered from PTSD. And luckily for me, I met my instructor Janice, whom is a great friend too, and I did both the MBSR and MBCT programs. So that has really helped me with the grief and to see it and to live with it. And however, my doctor, and my question to you, Jon, is my doctor said that I was clinically, in quotation marks, depressed. And so he put me on some antidepressants, which I've been on, and I struggle with it because I'm not sure if the antidepressants are just suppressing anything, if anything, and or not. I don't know, because I've been on them for a few years, and I'm just wondering what your viewpoint is on that. Thank you.
Wow. Well, nice to meet you, and thank you for that.
An honor.
And also, this is a question that, depression, of one kind or another, and even what we call clinical depression, is like the biggest public health epidemic of all. I want to be very clear about this, that I am not either a psychologist or a psychiatrist. And so what I'm going to be saying is not medical advice to you about the drugs, but you can study all sorts of things that have been written, including Willem Kuyken's book that I mentioned the other day. He and Christina Feldman wrote a book called Mindfulness, and I'm not sure what the subtitle is without looking at it, but from the Oxford Center for Mindfulness is doing very careful, large-scale clinical trials showing that mindfulness practice, MBCT, is the functional equivalent of although it operates through different pathways from antidepressant drugs, that you can get similar kinds of effects. But of course, the drugs carry their own burden associated with it. So if there's a way to gradually train in that particular protocol, since it sounds like you have a teacher of MBCT, I'm not telling you to go off your medication in any kind of way. That you have to do in collaboration with a physician. But the argument can be made that you've got all the equipment you need to actually deal with the root cause of depression in the face of trauma and everything we've discussed over these weeks about trauma. And if you joined us after that discussion, check out David Treleaven's book called Trauma Sensitive Mindfulness. But the fact of the matter is that depression, major depression, no matter what the causes of it are, is very most accurately described as a disease of thinking, that we have self-referential statements. We make self-referential statements and statements about reality that are actually not true. And then we believe them, and that can spiral us down into the black hole or black dog space of depression. So you have everything to gain by playing that edge, especially since you're part of this community, you have a meditation practice, to actually not give up on that element of it and titrate the medication and the meditation in such a way as like you're moving more in the direction of the meditation, freeing yourself in some sense from the medication under the right kind of guidance from a professional, and see what happens. In a sense, what do you have to lose? You can always go back on the medication, but the meditation is something that can actually liberate you from the sort of root problem, which is that what's called depressive rumination, where we drive ourselves down by one thought leading to the next darker one, and we believe our thoughts. And and you can see that everything we've been practicing is about recognizing your thoughts as events, but they're not the truth. And so that's a moment of liberation. And when you put moment by moment by moment together, the results from major clinical trials that you can read through Willem Kuyken's work at the Oxford University, and of course, John Teasdale, Mark Williams, and Zindel Siegel, who developed MBCT. That's where I would put my eggs, so to speak. I would put them in that basket, with the proviso that you want to do it carefully, because going off antidepressants after years of being on them is non-trivial.
Yes, I will watch this again, so I'll rewrite these books down. But thank you so much. And you're correct. You know, I know in my mind sometimes when I'm hitting tragic events, or I'm, you know, I'm anxious, and I think of 1,000 different scenarios that could happen, and none of them happen. The 1,001 happened. So yeah.
So it's like driving your car with the emergency brake on.
Yes.
And wondering why it feels so bad, and burns out, you know, the drive to move forward, which is often when we're depressed, we just don't want to wake up. We don't want to even get out of bed. We don't want to engage in the meaningful daily aspects of living. And, you know, you have all the reason in the world with what you said about your story, just the tiny little bits of it and where you grew up and anti-Semitism and everything else, to be caught in that narrative. And then who suffers if you're caught in that narrative? Even if it's true, who suffers? Only you.
Yeah.
So is there a larger domain that's even not narrative anymore? It's wakefulness, it's awareness, and it's already here. And whether you're on you know, the medication may actually change your capacity for awareness in one way or another. I don't know, but I would put my money on on your awareness and the fact that you're not dead yet. So no matter what the history has been, why not live your way into what's possible in this moment, and not try to expunge the past or the shadow, the darkness, but to not lose touch with the warmth and the light and the heart at the same time.
Thank you. It's been so wonderful, and it's such an honor. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
my pleasure.
So much. It's great to be able to listen to you. Thank you, everybody.
Well,
and it's
thank
been
you.
an honor being with the group.